Welcome back to the Georgia Gym Dog Show. I'm now joined by senior Lauren Sessler, reflecting on the last 4 years that you've spent here in Athens as a Georgia Gym Dog. And I know it's probably a whirlwind of emotion right now in the last week, but when you start to look back at the abilities that you've had here at Georgia, winning 3 national championships, competing in 2 of them, what are some of the moments for you looking back that when you remember yourself as a Georgia Gym Dog that tend to stick out for you?
Competing for Georgia. I mean, competing in that Coliseum in front of 10,000 people, not a lot of people can say that. And those moments are unforgettable. The moments I spend with the girls outside of the locker room, outside in our dorms, in our house, and the bus trips and the hotel rooms, and just everything. The national championships, for sure, you know, not a lot of people can say that they won 3 national championships, only our senior class. And competing in a national championship is unbelievable. It's something I won't forget forever.
Do you feel like you had a special connection to Georgia from being here, being from the state itself? You know, this program pulls in girls from all over the country, but for you to be able to compete at a place that you knew growing up, does it have a different sort of connection for you, you think?
It's very special. You know, I first came here, my sister went here, and I came here on a trip, and I actually thought I wanted to go out of state. And I was like, you know, kind of go off on my own to another state and do gymnastics. I think that'd be cool. But I know Jay for a while, and I took my recruiting trip, and Audrey and Emily were on my team, and I came and visited them. And I had gone on a couple other recruiting trips, but as soon as I met the girls were a hit for me. You know, it's all about the team, and I just connected with them, and I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Is that what helped you stay? You stayed for 4 years, graduating from this university, staying as a walk-on in this program. Is that what kept you competing for Georgia all 4 years here, was the connection to the girls themselves?
The girls and the program. I had no doubt in my mind when I was a freshman, I don't know about the coaches, that I was going to be here for 4 years. And after my freshman year, you know, I was like, I want to compete. I want to help this team. I want to stay with the girls. The girls were a huge part of it, but in my mind, I wanted to help the program, and so that was a big thing for me too.
I know you have competed on bars before, but being primarily a vault specialist, your meet in a lot of ways comes down to 5 to 10 seconds, and that's your contribution to the team. How tough is it from a mental standpoint, I guess, to prepare yourself for a routine like that where you know it's going to be over in a snap?
It was. It took some getting used to my sophomore year, I'm not going to lie. You know, as a freshman, I came in here, and the first time I went in the Coliseum, I was like, how can these girls compete in front of 10,000 people? This is terrifying. I don't know if I can do this. And my sophomore year, I was like, you know, I'm going to do everything I can. And the first couple times were a little rough, and I was like, oh my God, this is so frustrating, But the first time that I did nail it, and then I did hear 10,000 people cheering for me, I was like, oh, well, this is why. And I was like, well, you know, I don't want to be on the sidelines anymore. So that was just motivating in itself. And that definitely kept me going, because every time you hit one of those routines, you're on an emotional high. And I was like, oh, well, this is why. This is why they do it.
Coming into your senior year, we got to see in the first part of the show some great footage of you behind the scenes that Courtney Kupets was nice enough to shoot. How did you approach this senior year from a leadership standpoint? It's so evident to us that have gotten to see you behind the scenes this entire year, the way that you interact with these girls. How did you see your role this year as one of the seniors on this team?
Well, for me, it was very different because we had a new head coach. So I knew that we were going to have to help him out a little bit, you know, have him lean on us and us on him. And I wasn't used to being in a leadership standpoint, you know, the first 3 years. So I was like, well, you know what, I want 2 more championships. I want it so bad, and I'm gonna have to be a leader. And that took a little while, kind of getting used to being, you know, well, how do I help these girls be better? How do I help the mistakes? How do I help the successes? You know, I felt a little pressure at first, but the seniors worked together, and it was a different standpoint, but I learned a lot of skills that will help me later in life, I think.
Well, along with another senior, a fellow senior for you, Lauren Johnson, 2 of the best student athletes, with the emphasis on student, that Georgia has seen in the last recent years. For you personally going forward now beyond the world of competition, what are your plans?
Well, right now I'm working on an internship with Nike. My major is advertising, and they pick like 1 or 2 students from the top like Nike schools. And I had an interview a few weeks ago, and it went really well. And then I got a call back, and he was like, you know, you're our top pick. We have a spot for you here, kind of describing what I would do. And he was like, you just have to talk to the manager from this area, and hopefully I'll hear from him in the next week or so. And I'm really excited. You know, if I get that, that'll just be huge. There's been a couple other student athletes who have done it, and they all say they really like it, and hopefully I'll get that.
Well, Lauren, I know it's so quick after the close of your senior season, but when you look back at your 4 years, the connections that you've made here in Athens, what is it as you go on for the rest of your life that will stand out to you about your time as a gym dog and this program as a whole going forward?
First and foremost, the girls. I will have friendships that will last the rest of my life. Life skills that I've learned more within these 4 walls than I can say in any classroom. And it has made me mentally tougher, physically tougher, and that will definitely help me in any obstacle that comes my way later in life. So I'm excited, I'm thankful, and can't wait.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch you for the last 4 years, and best of luck in everything going forward.
Thanks.
Senior Lauren Sessler will take a break. When we come back on the Georgia Gym Dog Show, we'll be joined by sophomores Kat Ding and Gina Nuccio. The featured gym dog brought to you by Arrowhead Clinics. This week's featured gym dog is freshman Shayla Worley. From Orlando, Florida, Shayla competed in 8 meets for Georgia as a freshman, including competing in the all-around twice, winning both times, including a season high of 39.5 against Kentucky. That's this week's featured gym dog brought to you by Arrowhead Clinics. With an over 40-year tradition of excellence and service, Athens Orthopedic Clinic has been a leader in the sports community. An experienced medical team makes Athens Orthopedic Clinic the best choice for orthopedic care. We utilize state-of-the-art equipment and offer services such as MRI, physical and occupational therapy, urgent care center, and ambulatory surgical center. We provide the highest quality care while maintaining a personalized touch. Athens Orthopedic Clinic, serving Georgia athletes for over 40 years and a proud supporter of the Gym Dogs.